Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Secret Spaces, December 6th edition. We're super excited to be featuring Secret University today. Sit tight. We are bringing them here on stage, and we'll kick off in just a moment. Please send this around to your communities in the cosmos and elsewhere. We'd love to pack the space today because we are talking today about developer adoption. We're talking about secret apps. We're talking about all the work that's been done to make it easy to start developing privacy-preserving dApps on the network. We're super excited to see what's been done and how this launch is going to look. So sit tight for a second while we get the pinned tweet up here, while we get our announcements out across channels. But do us a huge favor. Just go copy the link to this space, share it in some Telegram or Discord community that you're in. Let people know we're about to kick this off, because we would love to have lots and lots of people, especially devs, learning about what's on offer for them that hasn't really been available before. It's an exciting moment. In the meantime, I'll reset and tell people this is Secret Spaces. We do these every Tuesday generally, and this week we're featuring Secret University to talk about secret developer education. So we're going to bring everybody on their team who's present here today up on stage. We've got our announcements out. We've sent the tweets. We've posted in Telegram and Discord. That means it's time to kick off. So this is Secret Spaces. We interview people in the secret ecosystem, around the secret ecosystem, nearby the secret ecosystem, about what they do to contribute to the network or how they're thinking about using the network in their own applications. And today we're featuring the Secret University team. We're going to get to introductions from members of their team in just a second. They're going to talk about what Secret University is, what they've built as a developer, what that means when you start getting your feet wet with secret contracts, the first things you're going to see with Secret University, what it's going to mean for you. We'll have time for questions from the audience. If you've got questions about how to start building your first secret app, or how you can get involved with Secret University or anything else, then you can stick your hand up. We'll get you up here at the end. But for the first bit, it's just going to be a great talk with the Secret University team. We'll have some housekeeping to do in a second as well, because we always like to give away secret badges with our Secret Spaces, meaning there's a free to mint NFT that you can claim to show off that you were here supporting all the awesome contributors in our network. Today, there's one to honor the Secret University team. Before we give you that claim code, though, before we let you know how you can get access to this special secret NFT, let's meet the team. We'll do guest intros. I'll call you guys out one-on-one, and then when we get through all of our intros, I'll give the claim code away, and then we'll get started learning more about Secret University. Let's actually start with Laura, who's up here on stage. Let's do a mic check. How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
Awesome.
Excited to be here.
Yeah, it's great to hear your voice. Feel free to introduce yourself for everybody who's listening.
Yeah, my name's Laura, also known as Secret Chain Girl. I'm a Genesis validator for Secret Network, and very passionate about the technology. And I got involved with Darren and Alex and DDT because we really wanted to help improve the developer experience. And I kind of spearheaded the secret box part of it. So yeah, really excited to it's just the beginning, and I'm excited about what's to come and all the great stuff we're going to do to help developers start building on Secret Network.
Awesome. It's great to have you here. How about Darren?
Hey, everybody. So I actually started my journey as one of the very first secret agents for Secret Network. So that journey started when I originally was working at EY as an advisor for Fortune 500 companies for tech transformation. I was exploring different avenues, and then one of my good friends recommended me to check out Secret Network. And once I became a secret agent, I started making infographics, educational infographics for new people joining the network. Became a co-lead of education for one of the educational committees for the network. That's where I met a lot of the team members that I'm working with today. And now we're spearheading the efforts to make Secret University the one place for developers to learn how to code.
Awesome. Over to Alex then.
Thanks, Tor. Hey, guys. I'm Alex. I've been with the Secret Network for a little over a year now. I got my start during the time where committees were really at the forefront of Secret Network. I was helping out in the education committee under Darren, which is when we got to talking about, how we can improve developer experience. I come from a traditional software engineering background, and that's kind of why I wanted to work on something like Secret University, where, I could code something that would hopefully improve the experience of other developers on the network.
Amazing. And DDT?
Hi. Yes, I'm DDT. I've been developing on Secret Network for about slightly over a year now. So I got my start doing the random number generator about a year and a half ago, I think now. And then just continued to develop a few other things. And in that process, felt that one of the things I could also contribute is to improve onboarding and the dev experience, and have been in conversations with Darren for quite a while, I think, which is how this idea of Secret Universities started to develop, and very excited to see where we've got to after all that time.
Well, it's great to have you here as well. And thanks all 4 of you for making the time today to show up and hang out and share your secrets. With that out of the way, the quick housekeeping, you'll see there's a pinned tweet inside this Twitter Spaces, so go check that out. If you click it, it has a link not only to this Twitter space, but also a link to today's free to claim secret NFT. We call those secret badges. Today's claim code will let you claim that secret badge. We've got people who have been collecting these for a long time. They're fun to collect. Sometimes they've got really exciting things in the private metadata. Today is no exception. But the way that private metadata works with NFTs is that if you don't own the NFT, you can't see it. It makes secret NFTs very special, and it makes today's NFT very special. So we encourage you to go try it out and claim it, especially if you've never claimed one. And today you'll need the claim code to be able to claim it and unlock it. And the claim code today is LEARN. One word, LEARN, LEARN. Very fitting for today because we are learning about a new platform for learning in the secret ecosystem. So doubly appropriate today. Go claim your secret badge, go support the Secret University team, show them that you appreciate their being here and supporting our ecosystem and taking time to explain it. So housekeeping done, introductions done. Let's go straight into the meat of this. I'll ask a few questions. Anybody can feel free to take on the answer themselves. My first question is, what even is Secret University?
So Secret University, like we mentioned earlier, is the whole vision is to become an ever-evolving resource for any developer who's interested in building privacy-protecting applications on Secret Network, right? So this is a resource that will continue to meet the needs of developers as the network grows. So if you think about it, the word university, it's an environment that allows students to explore their interests and then learn from very knowledgeable professors, make friends, embark on new experiences. And when they're finally ready and they feel prepared to go out into the world and find a career, they can go out and find something that meets their interests in their field of interest. In that same way, Secret University wants to be that resource for any new developer who's entering our ecosystem. We want to be that launch pad where they feel comfortable in an environment that's suitable for learning. They can get connected with other peers who are also learning at the same pace as them, and then also learn from very knowledgeable, more senior developers who have had experience in this space for a while, right? So that journey as a new developer becomes more welcoming as they join into what they believe is a very, very niche ecosystem. But in reality, learning can be a very easy journey that can start from hand-holding to the point where you start working on projects, you start working on more advanced concepts, and then finally you get connected with people and opportunities and new bounties that you can potentially work on that gets you to the point where you're finally ready to take on your own aspirations if you have an initial vision to build a secret application, right? This is an effort that we want developers to not only embark on, but also contribute back to, because this is a self-sustaining ecosystem where developers get incentivized to provide the content, to create the content for Secret University, because the four of us, we can't do it ourselves, right? We want this to be a decentralized effort. We want this to be an effort that puts focus and incentives for developers to create educational content for other developers and then step up to become mentors. So this scales, and so the developer community grows as the network grows. So that's the vision of Secret University. That's what we're set forth to do. For our initial launch, well, we're very excited to announce what we've started off as the ground base layer, as the foundation, and then we plan to share our vision later on this call.
Okay, cool. Anybody else want to chime in on this? Because my next question is pretty similar. It's like we're getting into the what, now I'm getting into the why. Like why all this started, what the need was that you saw, how the team really came together behind this. Whoever wants to speak to that, that's my biggest question.
Well, I could say from my experience, it at times has felt like I was dropped into an ocean as a developer trying to find resources, and I found myself going here, this repo and that repo, and we really just, I think that the common thing here is we wanted to make it easy as possible and fun to develop on Secret Network and have a centralized place where people could come and also piggybacking on what Darren was talking about, the idea of it really is like decentralized learning. So we're not like one team that's controlling everything, and I really like that aspect.
Maybe another thing to add is also, I think there are because of the privacy layer, there are certain things about developing a secret network that you probably wouldn't encounter in when developing on a transparent chain. So the whole consideration of how you design the contract such that privacy vulnerabilities are not present or addressed is also another thing. I mean, it's not something which is straightforward to cover, but I think over time, it's something which I think does need to be addressed for anyone onboarding and properly developing. So it's really quite because of our differences at Secret Network. I think having the resources that's covering these topics is quite important. So I think there's a big need for it, and which is why we got to this.
I obviously agree that there's a huge need. Go ahead, Darren. I saw you on mute. I would love to hear your thoughts as well.
Yeah, I just kind of wanted to summarize a little bit of those points. So when we were working as part of the education committee, what we noticed is that a lot of developers would be coming to both us as well as the developer community looking for developer education. And when they came to us, they were pointed to all these different places, right? What we noticed was that developer resources for the network, because it was a decentralized network, there were a lot of highly fragmented pieces of documentation scattered across all different places. So on GitHub, on Figment Learn, different places that hosted tutorials, but also a lot of the information was mostly nested in people's minds. So you had very senior developers who were spending a majority of their time in Discord answering pretty much the same entry-level introductory questions to developers who wanted to learn. And not only was that a large tax on those senior developers' times who could be better spent on building applications, they spent their time out of the goodness of their heart to help other people, right? But it was also kind of challenging for these new developers to ask somebody who they respected, was so respected in the community, because it was maybe a little bit anxiety inducing to ask maybe a simple question that you feel like it could be difficult to answer for you. And so we wanted to address these kinds of questions. We wanted to help compile the resources that were scattered, help them centralize them in a single place, and also figure out what were the learning steps, the individual steps that a new developer would have to experience before they got comfortable with actually starting to code. And then once they got comfortable starting to code, what were the steps that made them feel comfortable embarking on some more advanced topics or projects, and then finally figure out what the final steps were to have the confidence to launch a proposal, to build an application, or launch a proposal to work on a project. And so those are the kinds of questions we've been thinking about. Those are the kinds of questions that made us so interested in Secret University. And it wasn't just all four of us kind of had their own different ways of thinking about it before we came together and realized that, hey, let's get together. We have the talents, and we all came from a more nuanced beginner level to become secret developers. And so here we are.
Awesome. No, I mean, this is all super exciting to hear. I think we've all seen in the ecosystem a huge need for developer education. Every ecosystem needs that, but it's very rare that you actually see this kind of cross ecosystem effort to tackle it. Sometimes it's very centralized around a single core development team, or sometimes it's ignored to the point where the community is forced to do something. But this seems to be a very proactive approach to helping dApp developers get started on the network at a time where it's absolutely necessary, where we're suddenly seeing a demand not only for decentralized applications, but a demand for privacy in those applications. And really, Secret is still the best place to go to build these private by default applications in Web3, the most flexible platform. And I'm sure devs have been asking plenty of questions. Now, finally, they're going to have one place to look for answers. So with that, we can get into more of the specifics here. I know when I'm looking at our agenda in front of us here, we wanted to get into what's launching. We can talk about pathways, boxes. Take me through this, guys. Where should we start with? What's launching? What are you most excited for people to get hands-on with first?
So we wanted to wait for Secret Summit to announce our official launch of Secret University. But we have soft launched our initial platform. So Alex did a wonderful job building a developer platform that not only hosts information, but also allows for developers to contribute knowledge and contribute documentation and learning into the platform itself. We've also launched with an initial introductory course material. So some of these materials, they're the initial stepping stones for new developers to get started. One of our initial secret pathways is a high-level overview of the technicalities behind Secret Network, the architectural components, as well as what are the prerequisites as a developer to get started. And then we've also launched with what we call Secret Boxes, which is a mini project for Secret Counter. Laura will probably go into that into more detail later. But those are like a first mini project for a developer to get their hands wet. And so with these initial set of courses and the initial platform that's allowed to host our content, this is what we're launching now. And then we have big plans for the future on what we can do to scale this platform, to bring on new content creators, and then also how to incentivize those creators as well.
Yeah, I'll just add that I would recommend people check out the Secret Counter box. I'm a little biased, but it's kind of cool to like launch it. It's a Gitpod environment or workspace, and it launches and gets the local secret blockchain going, and it deploys the initial contract, and launches an app server so you can see the initial version, and then that is sort of surrounded by the table of contents and the guide that will walk the developer through making it, finishing out the functionality. So it's pretty, I mean, at least I had fun using it. So I would recommend that. And I would also recommend checking out the repositories as well.
So if I can just add to all this, I just wanted to say, like, the way the platform is set up right now is like if you go to the platform and you connect your Kepler wallet, you can sign up to become a contributor, and we'll look over. We kind of want to get some info on what are your capabilities, and like maybe what would you like to contribute. But the contributions we're taking right now are videos. So like developer screencast, we want to see like how can you code your new private secret network based NFT game or something like that. And then we're also accepting technical articles. We're accepting pathways, and I think there's a pretty intuitive user interface set up on the site for that. And pathways are just lessons and quiz questions. And then, of course, like Laura's said, we have secret boxes, which are these like templates, pre-configured Gitpod deployments, which will be set up in a way that once you create it, you push one button, and then you have the developer environment in front of you. They're perfect for learning because you don't have to set up your own local blockchain and figure out all the configuration yourself. So those are sort of the contributions we have: videos, articles, pathways, and secret boxes. And then we're also asking the community to link us to any really important repositories, because we want to try to host as much as we can on one site so that when people go to Secret University, they know they're finding all the relevant information about learning to develop on Secret Network.
Awesome. Let me quickly reset the space for a second. We're about halfway through, so I just want to make sure people have gotten the claim codes. I want to make sure for people who showed up a little bit late, of course, that they get that opportunity to show off their support for you guys. So again, this is Secret Spaces. We do this every Tuesday. This week, we've got the Secret University team talking about developer education on Secret, the awesome work that they're doing. Please, for the second half of the space, share this link around. You might have friends with questions. We're getting to that question and answer portion shortly. In the meantime, we're going to keep hearing from the team, but I'm going to remind you guys that today we have a awesome free to claim badge. So go ahead and do that. Free to claim badge today, just for being here. Something cool in the private metadata from the Secret University team. Today's claim code, though, you will need, and that is LEARN. LEARN, one word, LEARN. Will let you claim today's secret NFT, and only then, as the owner, can you decrypt the private metadata inside. Something special from the Secret University team. Cool. Space is reset. We're halfway through. Let's keep going. Would love to hear more about what's next for you guys. Everything that you've been thinking about to take people from complete noob to killer secret dApp developer. What's that going to look like for you? Or what have you already heard feedback on from the community as being like, this is what needs to come next?
Yeah, so actually, that's part of our next milestone of what we're trying to build. So our initial milestone was basically a welcome to Secret Network, a place where we have all of our introductory materials in one place. Also a place where you can get the very first feeling of hand-holding into this development effort that sometimes feels like a very hard step to take as a developer. And then now our second milestone is really to focus on establishing our knowledge library, right? Every university has a library, and we want our library to be very robust with a lot of content that people can pull on, and also a little bit more of advanced learning. because our initial courses definitely were the first few steps of learning, but we've already had questions asking us on more advanced topics that want to be covered. We're compiling a list from people who have been raising these suggestions, and then also we want to be able to start integrating a little bit deeper some other projects that also have educational material focused, right? So for our very first milestone, we did a rough integration of this certification on Secret Network. It's a team that has been working on creating an actual certification NFT on the network, and we're trying to be the very first test case for them to be able to certify that developers have actually learned certain information. So we want to work a little bit harder on that to make it a little bit more integrated into the platform, and also work with some other teams that are helping us out, such as Secret IDE, who can also help us with the GitHub experience and making the user interface and the experience even better than what it is right now. So that's probably our most upcoming milestone that coming up. We're thinking about that along with the processes on how to incentivize these new developers to create this content. And so that's our upcoming milestone. And then probably one step after that is how to connect developers together so that they can find their teams, how they can find jobs within the network. And then once they have finished their learning, they can accelerate their journey to developing applications.
Yeah, and I'll just add that we're in the process of gathering our thoughts and ideas for the next milestone. And I did a developer survey a while back to try to get an idea what the developer community would want in terms of like topics. And it was for secret boxes specifically, but it could apply to learn pathways. But some of the ideas are a DAO, DeFi stuff, secret NFTs, that kind of thing. And also maybe something delving deeper into the privacy model on Secret Network and best practices. Another thing, we were also talking about maybe integrating with Lorem Ipsum's Metaverse as a service. So that'd be kind of cool. But we're looking for suggestions. So if anybody has any ideas, head over to Secret Network under the Secret University section, and we've got an SU suggestions channel there. So we'd love to hear from you guys.
Definitely do that. It's awesome to see you guys are so open to feedback and thinking about all of these cross-ecosystem integrations. You guys know, probably listening, you guys know as well, but in case you don't, there's a ton of dApps that are launching, a ton of dApps already live on the network. On the DeFi side, you have dApps like Sienna and Shade and Blizzard, I'm sure, who are all really interested in working with you guys to educate more developers and also get those developers to become users in their own right of these platforms. On the NFT side, there are all these metaverse-focused projects. There's platforms like CertUp, as you mentioned, for certifications, platform like Stash that are working on NFT creation and discovery, platforms like LegendDAO. All of these are potential integration opportunities, user education opportunities, developer education opportunities. I'm sure you guys obviously are also talking very much with the secret agents who have been pushing user education and user adoption really hard across the ecosystem. Have agents in particular had any kind of feedback on the platform or ideas on how you guys can be collaborating on getting more eyeballs on Secret University?
The secret agents have been amazing for us. So while we've been heads down trying to build out this platform, and it took a very longer than we expected because we had to help upgrade some contracts for Cosmos and V1. So it took a lot of intense focus and heads down time building out what was the first milestone. All this time, the secret agents have been amazing in terms of helping us spread awareness of Secret University, helping us basically be our social presence around the network, and also helping us collate a funnel for new talent that they have been working very hard on to gather by doing their university outreach. So they've been going to actual universities, talking with students at these universities and figuring out who is, first of all, interested in blockchain in general, and also who is interested in building on Secret Network, and then collating their information to funnel to us. And so I believe last time they spoke, they said they have already spoken with 80 or so different universities, and a number of different students have expressed interest that they're interested in Secret Network. And so not only does that make us feel like we have a very big audience, it definitely made us work even harder to prepare for them to be onboarded. And so secret agents have been amazing in this effort, and we're very thankful that we have such a awesome community.
Wow, that's one of the best shills I've ever heard for secret agents. So there you go. If you are considering using Secret University, if you are a developer or looking to get your hands dirty with some code, obviously Secret University is an amazing way to go. But if you're just anybody at all who's privacy passionate, who cares about Secret Network, who cares about Web3 and securing it and making sure privacy is a part of its future, and you want to contribute to the global community effort to make it better, you can see that secret agents work with all the dApps in our network, all the teams in our network, Secret University as well. You get tons of opportunities from contributing to a program like that, rewards, and a lot of agents have gone on to found companies in the network, join companies, join things like Secret University. We highly, highly recommend it. So that is something people can check out as well. Go to scrt.network/agents. That'll tell you more about that. And of course, you'll hear a lot more about all these things, agents, Secret University, and more at Secret Summit, which is on December 15th. So go to scrt.network/summit, RSVP today. You'll hear from a ton of different network contributors on that day. You'll see dApp showcases. You'll hear from Guy Ziskin, founder of Secret Labs. You'll hear from their developer team, including Itzik, the VP of Engineering, and we'll have some awesome panels from around the Cosmos and privacy ecosystems as well, not to be missed. So wanted to make sure we snuck those shills in quick as we can, but I'll always remind people. Meanwhile, what are the calls to action around Secret University? You might want to restate some of these channels again. Clearly, we want people following Secret University. They'll want to know where they can go to actually start exploring some of these products, or maybe get updates on when they're going to go live. Now's your chance to show that. Right before you do that, I'm going to remind people that we also take questions on Secret Spaces. So stick your hands up if you've got a question about Secret University and you want to talk to the team here. Now is your best opportunity. Start getting those hands up. I will start getting you here onto the stage. But with that said, shill away. Where can people be going here? What are the big calls to action you guys have, and where can people follow along with Secret University?
So most importantly, definitely check out Secret University site, the platform itself. So that's scrt.university. This is where, if you're an interested developer, you can start to embark on some of the introductory pathways to learning what the value proposition is behind Secret Network, and then the privacy models behind Secret Network. And then you can also explore the secret boxes that Lauren has been working super hard on. These are those GitHub repositories that allow you to get your feet wet in building on Secret Network. And then definitely check us out at the summit. We'll be going over a holistic view of the platform, how it works, how to contribute, and also how to start learning and start your journey on Secret University. Other than that, definitely connect with us on our socials. So we just started a Twitter that will be linked to this secret space. That's where we'll be keeping the wider community updated on our progress. And also, if you're a developer, dive into the Secret Network Discord. We have a channel within the Secret Network wider Discord where we are curating our initial developers, asking for suggestions, and just basically getting to know our community. And so those are definitely ways you can get involved.
Awesome. Well, thank you for that. So with that, let's get some questions up here, waiting to see who's got something they want to ask. You can put your hands up, of course. I can just start asking more questions because I always have more questions. But I wanted to, of course, give the community first chance here. So I'll give it a couple seconds while we see if we get any hands from anybody today. If you've got questions for the Secret University team, or if you've got questions about the Secret ecosystem in general, it's sort of an open floor, or if you have an update, if you're building something in the Secret ecosystem, we also open up the floor for that around this time as well. So get those hands up. Also notice we have pinned a tweet here. Thank you, Patrick. You can check out the Secret University developer platform. It's got a super cool URL, scrt.university. Check it out. I'm sure they would love your feedback. It would be awesome to have as many people hands-on as possible, suggestions for improvement, etc. All right, then I'll come up with some questions.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Yes. Questions from me. This is where we go off book. You guys don't know what I'm going to ask you. We had a nice agenda set up, but now we're going to get my other questions. All right. If you could see any application built for Secret that has not been built yet, what would that application be, and why would you like to see it built?
Wow. We need some thinking time for that one. Well, I'm excited for the Secret DNS. Yeah.
So just elaborate a little bit on that. Secret DNS actually started off as a secret bounty that the community wanted to build. And then one of the teams, Digiline, picked up that bounty to build it. And so that's just one example of how developers can kind of pick up projects that get suggested by a wider community. And so Secret University, the way that we can help curate that experience is have a single place where we host all of these different bounties, whether they're community generated bounties, whether they're bounties that a different application team or a wider ecosystem team wants to get built, and then have these developers come up and raise their hands and say, hey, I want to build that bounty. So that's what Secret DNS entails that Laura was mentioning.
I just thought of one that I would really like. It's on the CCBL. It's Secret Insurance, and I think it'd be pretty cool if somebody did insurance for DeFi, so we don't get wrecked anymore.
Oh yeah, that'd be nice.
Well, I think maybe not something that's completely not been built yet, but I think it'd be nice to see more games on Secret Network. So we've got some, but I think Secret Network's privacy features really works well for games because it prevents, or it makes it difficult for people to gain an advantage by analyzing the block. So I think that's a very good use, well, one of the many good use cases, and I think there's a lot more potential for that.
Yeah, between the four of us, we always kind of joke that out of Secret University, somebody's probably going to spin up a secret casino. And the reason why is because a lot of our initial tutorials are based off of kind of casino ideas. Like our very first pathway, one of our first pathways is about building secret dices and how to, why the randomness features that secret uniquely allows for with privacy preserving aspects, allows for on-chain randomness. And so things like secret dice, lottery contracts, those things can only be built on Secret Network. And so, like DDT mentioned, these games, there's an aspect to Secret Network that hasn't really been revealed yet anywhere else. And those are some of the most exciting things that get just general people who are interested in playing games, get them involved in blockchain where they never thought they would be. And so, yeah, I definitely think that's a cool avenue.
Nice. And now we do have a new hand up here, so I'm also going to bring up Red Eye Bear, who I think will have a question that I'm not going to surprise you with.
Hey guys, I just have a real quick question. Do you guys envision Secret University as being the source of truth for new developers, or do you guys see yourself kind of as just a key piece in the total puzzle as far as like onboarding and educating new developers?
Yeah, I would just say that we are a source of truth, maybe not the source of truth. I would like to see, as Secret Labs takes over developer documentation, that developer docs becomes like this really technical key piece of documentation that people can rely on. But then, as reading these like really technical, detailed pieces of documentation aren't always the best for new developers to get up and running and building their own projects very quickly. And I think that's where Secret University can really help, along with, as we improve our educational material and provide more advanced topics for, building applications that involve different kinds of tokens and whatnot. We can provide a source of truth and just become very helpful for filling in the gaps that, Secret Labs we can't really expect them to take on the total package of network-wide developer education.
In general, you don't want any one organization to take on the entire burden of developer education or developer onboarding, because that creates a central point of failure for something that's essential, the growth of the innovation arm of the ecosystem, which is always the developers. So we certainly appreciate the effort that's being made here. Of course, collaboration with the core devs of the protocol is always essential, because that gives you all of the up-to-date information. It ensures this information is true today, will be true tomorrow. They can come check in on that stuff and support. But yeah, having these independent efforts is really essential. And as the ecosystem continues to decentralize, that's kind of what creates sustainability for these ecosystems. We have Secret Labs, we have Secret Foundation, we have Secret Agency, we have Secret University, we have the many validators who support the ecosystem, the tons of dApps teams, from the mainnet dApps to the testnet dApps, the ones that are going to be going through incubators and everything else. Don't underestimate the extent to which we've already become an extremely vibrant, decentralized community, but also the extent to which we've developed these awesome organizations at its core that help to keep the lights on, advance best-in-class tools and platforms for users and developers in our ecosystem. So this is just an awesome step forward, I think, for everybody. And I'll reiterate my gratitude to have your commitment to the ecosystem.
Yeah, this was more just a question to kind of gauge the scope of which Secret University, like the undertaking that Secret University is kind of taking on. But I agree that there shouldn't necessarily be one source of truth, because that does provide a single point of failure. So
right on. Cool. I think a couple other people had hands up, but maybe they put them down, or maybe Twitter cycled them off of the stage again. So if you do have a question and you don't see yourself up here, do raise your hand. I will bring you back up here. We've got about 10 minutes to the top of the hour. We'll keep talking about secret developer adoption, and I'll keep coming up with questions, because I do have so many questions. Maybe another way to ask the question that I asked before we might get an interesting answer. What is an app that is not in the secret ecosystem? Like, name the app, not just like, an NFT marketplace. Like, name an app that you love or are really impressed by from outside the secret ecosystem. Like, what makes a dApp to you really cool? And answer that by giving us an example of a cool dApp.
Well, the one that that pulled my interest the most was probably Audius, basically the decentralized Spotify for Web3. The reason why I think it's so cool that a music platform like Audius is able to not only incentivize new artists, but they're pulling in a lot of very talented artists to promote real adoption for the Web3 space. And so any kind of application that really touches users that aren't necessarily thinking about blockchain or thinking about making money through crypto, I think that's how we can get real users to start using applications that not only feel and look exactly the same as any traditional application that they're using today, but just with the blockchain infrastructure. I think that's how we get real adoption across the board. It'll be almost imperceptible from anything else. And I also love listening to the works that new artists make. So that's what really piqued my interest.
As a musician, I obviously love that answer. And actually, on my old podcast, I had Ronil, the founder of Audius, on as a guest. So there's a great episode of Decentralize This with me and Ronil talking about Audius as a platform. And I believe this episode dates back to 2019.
What I really want to see is I want to hear something that you launch on your guitar.
Some other secret spaces will do like a music session. We have had the great joy in past secret event appearances. We've had the great joy of having jam sessions. We did some in New York last year. We did some karaoke in Miami this year. So as we keep popping up around the world with secret agents and all of these secret events, I think that we always tend to have a good time, and music is a big part of it. So yeah, I agree. That's a really cool platform and a really cool thing to see more adoption of, because they are trying to experiment with all these different artist engagement models, and all of that is super valuable. Anybody else from the university team who's got a favorite DApp? Something from the ETH ecosystem, Solana ecosystem, Cosmos ecosystem, wherever, where you've seen a DApp and thought to yourself, that's a useful DApp.
I only use wallets and DeFi. I need to get out more.
So there's actually a team building something like that on Secret right now, and they're pretty close to being ready to announce it. So I guess for now, just keep a lookout, probably within the next couple of weeks, and they're definitely going to be at Secret Summit. So if not before then, you'll hear about it then.
Oh, what?
That's exciting. Yeah.
Patrick, go back in the alpha chamber. No leaks from the alpha chamber. You get back in there. Super exciting. And obviously, as Secret University goes live, you're going to see dozens more of those kinds of apps go live. And I think we've talked about this before on prior spaces, but yeah, this idea of privacy inside the smart contracts themselves is so exciting, because it works great for those kind of creator monetization models and connecting with these consumers. So definitely excited to see this stuff go live in Secret. And the best part is all these apps that get built in the ecosystem are composable with each other. So this new decentralized Spotify with privacy by default is still going to be composable with SCRT, is composable with Stash. And you can sort of have these universal app ecosystems where as you move around, you still get the privacy guarantees, because it's guaranteed not by a single application, but by the network itself. So really cool and really exciting. So if you are listening to this and you are a developer, or you know a developer who might be interested to become part of that ecosystem, clearly it's growing, clearly it's fun, and a lot of great creative people are becoming a part of this mission alongside the Secret University team that's up here, Secret Foundation who's up here, Secret Agency, who of course have had their own spaces here in the past. So many ways to get involved in the ecosystem, so many things to build. I will just remind people of all of those different ways in, and I will shill one more time. Secret Summit coming up on the 15th. Patrick mentioned you might hear some more alpha there from these teams. There might be some announcements. I mean, it's 5 straight hours of alpha on December 15th. Who wouldn't want to experience that live and in person? You probably want to RSVP now. So scrt.network/summit. It takes like 10 seconds to RSVP for Secret Summit. Don't just show up on the day of, like RSVP now, and that way you will get updates in real time. We'll let you know when it goes live, and after the summit, we'll be sending you information as well. In the meantime, from the Secret University team, feel free to sign off however you like, give a last statement, a last call to action. We'll go around for any of you guys. And thank you so much again for all of you who joined us here today, and for all of your work on Secret University. It's hugely appreciated, and I know we're going to be seeing the returns on that, not just next year, but for the years to come.
If I can just real quick say, the reception to our work has been incredibly heartwarming for me from the network, and it's a real privilege to get to work with everyone on the network who have been, you got a lot of people who are grateful for our effort, have been working on the network for years, and yeah, it's great. I love it. Thank you for the support, everyone. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I second that. It's I'm I've really enjoyed working with the Secret University team, and really appreciate the support, and looking forward to what's next.
Yeah, I couldn't do without any of y'all.
Cool. I did bring up On God here, who's got his hand up. So let's do that right before we wrap up. Did you have a question?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask if you guys, I saw a while back there was a planned like collaboration or integration with Cato. And I was wondering if that is there's any updates on that.
Patrick, do you know?
It's still in the works. Yeah, it's still coming.
Okay, so still coming, but no update right now.
Okay, cool. Thanks a lot.
Cool. If we hear anything else, I mean, I'll let the team know, because that way, if that's something we want to bring up at Secret Summit, we'll get the answer for you. I don't know off the top of my head. Not my department, but it is my department to get you answers. So appreciate the question. Let's see if we can't get it answered at Summit. All right, guys. Well, thank you again for another awesome Secret Spaces. We are now here at the top of the hour, so we're going to wrap it up. Thank you so much for attending, you guys in the audience. Thank you guys from the Secret University team. So good to have you all here. Again, follow all of them. Go check out Secret University at scrt.university. Give your feedback, and please, please, please join us in the Secret Discord. You can give your feedback there. Chat.scrt.network. We're all there. We'd all love to hear from you. So again, thanks for taking the time. Thanks for all the hard work on Secret University. Thanks for listening. We will see you here next week for another Secret Spaces with more secrets to share. And then right after that, Secret Summit on the 15th. Lots of time together. Get excited. Thank you, everyone. Have a great rest of your week.
Thanks,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Or bye, guys.
Thanks,
Bye.
everyone.